Big Dick Overwatch players fined $1,000. The Atari VCS designer is suing the company, and more. I'm Andrew Dornan, and this is my show, What's New? So, the room is finally complete. We've got the corkboard over here. I don't think the corkboard's been shown in any video that I've made using this camera because it's always been like out of frame. But now it's in frame because of how everything is set up. And also I changed my recording setup a little bit. As you might have saw, we've got a different camera angle, mixing up a little bit. My microphone is right here, and then my MacBook, which is now responsible for all audio recording, is right here. And when I go to record Let's Plays, it'll I think this setup might more or less be the same, although I think I might actually swap the microphone stand and the MacBook, switch those places so that way they're like, I don't know how to verbalize what I'm thinking, but basically I don't think the microphone stand would work if it's sitting here and extended all the way. It seems a little weird. Who knows? I might experiment with it. But other than that, I've been prepping some content for the Facebook page. So that has been, I've got stuff in my eyes. So that's been coming along. I've been brainstorming what exactly I want to do. Last Friday, I mentioned morning MMOs. That's something I'm still figuring out, trying to see about maybe, do specific, like, not necessarily branding, but like try to figure out a thumbnail style for them. I don't know. It's all up in the air, but it will eventually come into fruition. All of these stories that I'm going to be talking about today are kind of short. There's nothing to it, so I'm extending the pre-show banter a little bit. I will say that on top of all the stuff that I've been doing content-wise, I've also, where is it? I'm working on a modification for the Game Boy. My dad and I are working on something, and so whenever we figure out the exact way that we're going to mod the Game Boy, I actually have a couple downstairs in a pile of things that need to get repaired. So it'll be interesting. Gravity. My clapper was in that box and it just slid all the way down. It was a little weird, but whatever. But yeah, so when we finally figure out exactly the process of modifying these, I'll be doing a video. It'll probably go up on the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook. So there won't be a link from the Facebook page to the YouTube video. It'll just be uploaded separately to the Facebook page because why not? But yeah, so there's that, and then I might also be trying to mod some Game Boy Advance stuff. So basically, I'm getting into like console modification and console repairs more and more. So I might start doing those videos on the side, and I might start a second channel or something. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. But with that banter out of the way, let's get into the news. All right, our first story of the day is that a couple of big dick Overwatch players got fined $1,000. That's not to say that they got big dick energy. They were just talking about big dicks and sex in a very public Overwatch text channel. They thought they were in a private chat. They were not. I'm not gonna name these two players because honestly, they know what they did because they got fined $1,000, and it's gonna follow them. Their own teammates are ragging on them. It's a little poetic and very much funny. But yeah, so it was seen by everyone, the shoutcasters, everyone watching the stream, their teammates. I think even members on the other team noticed as well. It was just a big ol' fiasco, and honestly, it's quite humorous. They haven't been banned. I should specify that. No banning has occurred. They've just been issued $1,000 fine each, which is hilarious. It's like Blizzard was like, "All right, we're not gonna ban you because it's a bit harsh, but you know what you did was wrong, so you're gonna pay $1,000 each." And I'm just like, you gotta, if you want to talk about having big dick energy, then you go into a private channel. That's why every Discord that I've been on has an NSFW channel, so you can talk about having big dick energy in the NSFW channel and not in the general chat. That's what it's for. So you should always make sure that you're in the private channel, and that's the takeaway from this story. Our second story of today is that Magic the Gathering is changing a card name because of the whole COVID-19 pandemic. Specifically, the next set that's coming out is like themed. It's like a what's I want to say it's like a crossover kind of deal between Magic the Gathering and the Godzilla universe, and it's absolutely magnificent. One of those cards, however, was Space Godzilla Death Corona, and that sounds really bad, but from my understanding, this card was made before the original Outbreak, and it has not aged very well. In fact, you see on one side you have the original Death Corona, and on the other side you have the new named card, which is called Void Invader. And actually, the cards have different designs too. So it's kind of interesting. Not only did they change the name, but they also like did some minor aesthetic changes. And I also noticed uh, I say they put in more lighting. It's painting, but when it comes to like doing art, you got to think about where the light's hitting it. And so in a filmmaker's perspective, I think of that of, oh, they put in another light source there, or in the sense of like 3D modeling, where you actually have objects that emit light and you throw those in. I have a very rudimentary understanding of 3D modeling because I did an okay job for a bunch of 3D models for Metroid Samus Returns. But yeah, so that original, the Death Corona card, has been put to death. So it's no longer going to exist, and instead is being replaced by the Void Invader. So it's kind of interesting how a pandemic can change things and be like, oh, we should probably change the name of that. So yeah, that's all of these are slightly humorous stories. Well, I say all of these. The third one isn't humorous, but these first two were. The first one was humorous. This one is. I mean, there's humor to be found in it. The irony of it. But yeah, let's move on to the other story. All right, third story of today is that Atari, the company behind the Atari VCS, is being sued by its designer, chief architect, however you want to call them, for unpaid salaries. The Atari VCS has been plagued by issues. It was like it was successfully crowdfunded, and it was like this big thing, and then we didn't hear anything about it, and then we heard things about it, and some people have jumped ship. There have been delays. It's not been the greatest, and now on top of that, the chief architect of the VCS, Rob Wyatt, not Bob Riot, Rob Wyatt, I can speak, I promise you, says he's owed $260,000 in unpaid salaries. So that's pretty bad. If taking into consideration, like, it came out in 2017, that's 3 years. So that could be, 3, maybe 4 years salary, maybe even more. So it's like them like paying him less than he should, or just straight out not paying him, which is completely absurd. And Rob White also confirmed what we had all suspected for a long time, and that's the fact that the VCS has been plagued by major mismanagement by the company. And it honestly, at this point, this I feel like this console is dead on arrival. It's like, at least with like, I've seen like occasionally when the comparison pops up, it's very infrequent. But some people will be like, "Oh, is the Atari VCS like gonna be the next Ouya?" But the difference there is that nobody knew what the Ouya was. It wasn't mismanaged. It came out and it was okay. It came up for like $100 only in GameStop, and was an okay Android box. But I haven't seen anything to this level of scandals with the Ouya. Uh, but the VCS is just its own beast. I remember when I first got like the promotional email, I was really excited about it, and I signed up for the newsletter. And ever since then, I've been hearing more and more horror stories about like, oh, it's delayed, oh, they haven't shipped out like backer rewards, and it's like, what is happening? So it's something's happening, and this console is probably dead on arrival, and that is my hot take. That is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy my content and want to know ways to support me and my content, I have a link to the support the content page in the show notes. Additionally, if you want to know more about Andrew Dornan's What's New, I have a link to the main show page also in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you Wednesday for another episode of Andrew Dornan's What's New. Bye-bye.